Hi everyone, my name is Claire of Clarity Wellness Coaching, also known as OT Claire B, as in boy, Holistic OT. Today I'm just going to show you a few tools that I personally use, and you're not going to see my face so much because these are tools I use for my back to kind of self-adjust, keep me in alignment. I did fall off a horse when I was 17, so I do need to do this like a few times a week. So jumping right in, the first thing is you can just get a chair. This is a block, but basically what you can do on your yoga mat is just try to create more or less 90-degree angle at your hips here, and then up, kind of just have your knees, up and kind of bent at your knees. Try to more or less have 90 degrees there as well. So you can just do that, and just, it's actually good if you have a chair that's high enough. So this block can be made higher like this. And that in that case, if you brought it a little bit closer, again, you're trying to get those 90-degree angles more or less. And this, kind of hip width apart can help just your lower back release down into the ground. And for a lot of people, this is why they like firm mattresses. It just helps to release and kind of even out your pelvis, which then can affect your spine at the, the lower kind of sacral and lumbar area. So that's the first one. The second one that I like a lot are these balls, which are called the Miracle Ball Method. I don't know if you can see that. I think you can. And they're by someone named Elaine Petrone. So these are the old version. The bigger one, the new version are bigger. But basically, I like to first start with them very close together on either side of my coccyx, at the bottom of the sacrum. And then I like to roll this way, so it really kind of tilts my pelvis forward. And this just releases a lot for me personally with my body. So this feels so good. And it kind of scrunches up everything with your vagus nerve, kind of like when you're in child's pose. In the other direction in yoga, it kind of feels like that. Take some nice breaths and just enjoy that. Then when I'm ready, I kind of move them out under my hip bones in the back there. Some people call them the sit bones. So now they're a little bit further apart under each of those bones, and that feels good to me as well. Again, kind of hugging my knees to the chest and just letting them naturally fall forward. Then what I do, I bring them together again at my coccyx, and I start rolling down little by little. I have to adjust the the camera for this. So I just walk my feet down so that then the balls are under each segment of my spine. And I can go right down. And sometimes when I go like this, try to keep them even on each side at the same level. Sometimes when I throw my hands over, it actually cracks. But in any case, at the level, I'll come back so you can hear me better. But in any case, at the level of your shoulder blades in the back, that's a really great spot to kind of just stay there and release. And then I'll show you then for the neck. So it's good to slide all the way down, segment by segment of your spine. So I'll start a little bit higher here. So then for the neck area, I go right up, and you can kind of roll back and forth if you want, like this. And that's good for your trapezius muscles here, which a lot of people find those get really tight, obviously. So just rolling back and forth, and then for the neck, what I do is I take them, now the bigger version I like better, the new one, because you can just put one behind your entire cervical spine. Now, if you have any injuries, be careful with this. But for me, because these balls aren't that hard, you can pump them up to the desired, firmness. I kind of like that. And then I take both of them, for me, and put them behind my neck on either side and then I kind of roll back and forth, kind of move my neck back and forth, and it does, like I had one crack today, but some days I have more cracks than others, and yeah, it just feels really good to kind of release. And there you go. So I'll make another video soon with some other tools, but these are just some kind of tools to show you today and to start out with these. And then actually the very last one, I know we're already at 5 minutes, but are these chiropractor blocks. And I would say be very careful if you do order them. I'll show you the safest way for everyone to use them. But again, disclaimer, use at your own, you know, at your own risk. And I am not a chiropractor myself, but for me, I find this really helps me keep me in alignment. So you want to make sure you get a really good quality. So they should be quite cushioned here, and they should be like quite a standard size. So these cost about $60, 60 pounds in England. It should be, you know, quite expensive because they should be professional grade. And what you do, if you're not a professional like me, chiropractor, the safest way is to have it in a V shape. And you're going to try to put each sit bone, or not sit bone, sorry, the bone in the front of your hip, you're going to try to center it kind of in the really fleshy, bigger part, the whitest part here. So not falling off right like in the middle. So you can adjust it as you will be able to feel it. So what you do, again, I arrange it into the L shape. I'm doing that into the L shape. Or sorry, the V shape. Oh gosh, too relaxed now from this. And then, if you have glasses, obviously you're gonna wanna take them off. So when you come down, again, I'm gonna just make sure you can put, you know, like if you're doing the plank on each forearm, but what you can do is use your fingers and put it under that hip bone, that high hip bone here, and make sure it's kind of in the center of each block in the widest part. And then what I do is I bring my forearms and elbows back and right next to my body, and I kind of use my fists and I cross over my heart, my fists, and that way I use my hair here to just put it on, or you can use a scarf. And what you do, here I'll try to put my hair aside, is the fists here create a little bit of space, you know, between, so that your nose isn't smashed into it, so your neck isn't too smashed into it. And try to tuck your chin in a little bit if that feels good to you. And there you go. And you just hold this, and then most people, when you're in this position with that V shape, this whole area will release here, the kind of sacral lumbar area, and then it kind of readjusts with the gravity. It's going to help those, you know, bones in your pelvis readjust. And I highly recommend that you find a photo on the internet of these bones, you know, for the pelvis, because they can move in different directions, basically. And then when you're done, to come out of it, this is very important at any time, it's quite good to do something like that rolling cat-cow motion. And then when you're ready, I do like to do this part of the downward dog, or whatever it's called. I'm wearing Crocs, but usually you should do this barefoot. And then to come up, I like to tuck my toes under and then roll back. Keep my head down, keep your head down. And then when you come up, put your heels down when you can, and go one vertebrae at a time, rolling up. At this point, you probably can't see me at all. But there you go. All right, hope that was helpful, and stay tuned for the next video with even more tools for sciatica, keeping your back in alignment, releasing fascia, tension, etc.